Hey, Raymond. Just going to wait for a couple of people. I'm going to keep my voice low, so you may not hear me very well. But this is the main control center here. At Miniatur Wonderland in Hamburg. This is one of the workrooms where guys work and test things and try things out. Where'd Joyce go? Ah, okay.
She's standing there watching.
Oh, okay.
And I was admiring
Mittel Deutschland and Hermann Denkmal. I've actually been to that. Okay. Go for it. Push the button, Frank. That's a narrow gauge.
yeah, meter gauge. Then we can make them drink in the beer garden.
This is one of the oldest sections at Miniatur Wonderland, and they've been upgrading parts of it, but you can tell it doesn't have a lot of static grass. It doesn't have a lot of what the more recent stuff has. It's a bit older. In its time, it was state of the art, but it's not as crisp as some of the newer areas. But this is a 21, 22-year-old section here. And when you get millions of people each year,
They are actually drinking. You can see them moving their arms.
yep, you can see these people in here. They're actually raising their arms, drinking.
Yeah, we can turn it on again in a minute. I'll turn it on.
Go ahead.
if you keep it. And now you can see they are all drinking. Yeah.
Let's see, which way was Scandanavia? Is that
way?
Well, do we want to start there? Hey, there's Artie. How are you, Artie? So we are just getting ready to start. It's Anthony Dodge, Mile Train Outsider. We've got Jean Ricard, the Crazy Dane. And leading the way in front of us, whom you can't see now, we'll catch up, is Joyce. But we're going to go to the beginning of this. Gee, Jean Ricard, I thought you Australians thought that the world was backwards and that you would say that it was in the south. Alright, so let me flip the camera now, but we got a couple of people here. I saw that Brian Finn was going to go live, but I just thought you guys might like a live trip through. This is actually one of my favorite sections.
Da kommt es wieder. Ja, habe ich auch gedacht.
It's actually a class 218 right there.
This is Kiruna, the northernmost railway station in Sweden, where they make most of the iron ore of the world is coming out of Kiruna and going to Narvik in Norway.
So if you look way over there, I'll try to zoom in. You can see they've got a little ship getting caught in the Arctic. But this is the second or third oldest section. This was built in 2003, 2004. I don't have the dates on me, so I'm just trying to remember. But it goes all the way back. And you'll hear lots of voices here, and I'm really trying to... Hey, Andy, how are you? I know people want close-ups of everything, but unfortunately I can't be here for 10 hours. This is Scandinavia. We just left Corona in Sweden, which Jean-Ricard was just explaining is the largest iron ore mine in the world. In fact, most of the world's iron ore production comes out of there. And we are now shifting to nighttime, so it is getting darker. They do... Hey Richard, how are you? We've just started. This is our first official stop. This is Scandinavia, but we've just gone into nighttime. So nothing's wrong with your cameras. We just... It's late night for you, Artie. But there's just so many things here. I have been here. This is my 6th trip here. And one year I did miss Scandinavia. We just never made it back to Scandinavia because a friend was not feeling well and we had to leave. But you always see something new. There is always something. They upgrade things. They fix things. So I won't be talking much. I don't have access to write things in. I know a lot of people will want, I don't know how well you guys are hearing me right now, because I'm trying to keep my voice down so as not to be rude to the other patrons here. Although at this time of day it's not as busy, which is why I thought I could live stream at this time.
I would like you to show the sauna from northern Sweden there.
Oh, right. That's the sauna.
Real life nighttime look like this.
But just amazing. I think the church here
Yeah.
looks more amazing.
Oh, that is very cool.
I don't know how well it'll show up. I'll try to zoom in. There we go. Now you can see the detail in the stained glass. Well, you have to live in these places and maybe be 1/87 scale.
And just to make Anthony very sad, there's even two 218s right here going
Well,
in
those-
tandem.
But I know people want close-ups of everything. As I said, I just cannot do a close-up of every building, everything. So, again, you want to see close-ups, you got to come here. But the depth, this is what blows everything away, is the amount of detail. And again, this is one of the oldest sections of Miniature Wonderland. This section is close to 20 years old. The Middle Germany area is the oldest, and this was built, I think, in 2004. I think they had Scandinavia up when we came in 2004. So maybe 2003, because they opened up in 2001, and then they added the Hamburg area in 2002, and then they added Scandinavia 2003, and then they did the Alps. But the Alps were here by the time we came in 2004. But daylight is coming. So again, as beautiful as Miniature Wonderland is, you can definitely see how the technique, the quality of construction with modern tech. For example, in some of these areas, you can see where they've come back and done scatter a little bit more. But on these earliest sections, you don't really see static grass because that tech really wasn't around at this time.
And this part of the layout, as we saw before, that was from Sweden, from
Yep.
Kiruna. This part is symbolizing Norway.
Yep. So this is
There's still Swedish trains, like the
Yeah.
train coming.
right there. That's a Swedish train right there because it's got the little eagle on it. But there's so many trains in action. Sometimes you just got to hold the camera, and I'll try to zoom back out. And you'll just see right here, you got steamer going through here, little freight shunting there. You got the passenger train up here, then way in the back you'll have trains going through.
Yeah, but this is still Norway. When we
Yeah, and this is just one room of many. This is just one room of many. And there's hidden stories. There's hidden stories and hidden jokes everywhere. And
you could see the lock filling and opening there.
And they don't cheat on the details. There's just as much detail in the back areas. Way back there, there's just as much detail, even though you say, you're far away from the view. But you can do tours and go back in that area. You have to pay extra money to go behind the scenes, they call it. And you'll see that they put just as much detail back there as they have anywhere else. But this is just, again, this is just one room. This is the Norway. We just passed Sweden over there. which they did the winter stuff with. And I didn't even get to show you all the penguin jokes they have. Look at the river flowing through here and the bridges over the rivers, these fjords they're representing. And yes, if your eyes are able to see it, that is a dragon back there, a Drachen. That is a dragon back there. Oh, yeah.
And there are different operations, like this is a conveyor belt.
So we're back to the mine for a second, but Jean Ricard wants to show you all this.
And Dragon's Cave, it says. So somewhere there's a dragon coming up.
Guck mal.
And then there's a Laura, the narrow gate's going down.
Where is it going? It's just
going, okay. Yeah.
Whoop. Hi, Robert's Train Set. How are you? We've got Joyce, Anthony, and Jean Ricard are here. I think Jean Ricard and Joyce got tired of me broadcasting here and moved forward. That boom you're hearing is a fake mine collapse, an explosion. But the AIDA is an actual ship that you will see in Hamburg Harbor. And actually, I've stood off the side and seen this here. The Bergweg. And that's the bridge. Is that the bridge they're going to take out? Because Jean... his name was Jean-Pierre. No,
Jean-Philippe. Yeah.
No, you're Jean-Philippe.
Yeah.
But the guy who built this name was Jean something.
It's supposed to be the Great Belt Bridge, but in reality, the trains that crosses there would go in a tunnel underneath the water.
Right.
The bridge itself would be...
But one of the two big bridges... Oh, no, it's that one. They're going to replace it because it's been replaced in real life.
Okay.
So it's either this one here or this one that they're replacing because it's been torn down and is being replaced in real life.
Yeah, because I was just spinning. So.
Yeah, well, I noticed we had lost internet.
Okay.
We're back if anybody's... Huh.
Now another day has passed.
All right, are we back on? I don't know how much we missed. I just noticed that the internet was off. Yeah, we're going into nighttime again. Leuchtturm, so... Yeah, the thing is, my Streamlabs never disconnected, so apparently the internet went out, but we were still broadcasting. So it might still be on replay. So if you guys missed anything, our vacation will be over in no time. Oh, no. You could spend hours and hours here, guys. Even for the 25 minutes I've been on, I've shown you not even 1/10, heck, not even 1/20th of this place. I mean, this is just one section right here, and look how deep it goes. You can fit this onto a football pitch. Dino, don't worry about it. We're lucky if we can get the broadcast. The thing is, it'll be available on replay because Streamlabs never stopped recording. So even if you guys lost signal, it'll still be on the replay. unfortunately we're kind of in the dark right now. But they're constantly rebuilding and reworking. Certain things wear out over time, and they come up with new ways to do it. I've seen this particular sort of like monorail train set, which you can't really see very well, but maybe you can see the rail going through there. I've seen it go through 4 different incarnations since I've been here, as they just keep trying to work out the best way to keep it running. Because it's been problematic all along, but they're determined to get it going. Oh, yeah. Up. And the balloon just lost its color. The thing is, you really have to see everything in the dark and then see everything in the light, because there's totally different worlds. Now, this little light show here, and this is just a light garden. But they have all the interactives, like you can see that flashing. They have them on timer, so once it's pressed, it can't be pressed for a while, and that keeps the things from getting overused, the motors from getting overheated. But this is all still the very first room. This is Scandanavia. Including, that's a Danish castle down there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Easko.
Yeah,
that's actually part of a museum.
Okay, so now we're entering the section called Hamburg. So we're leaving Scandanavia and we're coming to Hamburg, which is one of the oldest, is the oldest section along with Middle Germany. It started as Hamburg and Middle Germany, and then they added so many other things.
If you go a little bit in front of people and check the building over there.
Yeah, the Philharmonie, the Elbe Philharmonie.
The Opera House of Hamburg.
But even this area they expanded. If you can see this, there's a black area right in there. Well, that used to end right around here, and then they expanded so they could build the Speicherstadt. But there's some trains running. We paid 20 euros, so that'd be about 20, well, comes out to about $21 right now. 21 and a half. So that would be about 19 pounds. Joyce and I have tired Jean Ricard out. But here you even have people on top of a roof watching a projection TV. There's just something everywhere. There's entrance to the Hamburg Zoo, so this is the Hamburg Animal Park. But whether you're into trains or not, you've got everything here. Just cool designs. There's hidden jokes, a lot of adult jokes. And just in case you thought that wasn't enough, there's even trains that run in the floor. Yes, Robert, you can get around in a day. Depending on how much you want to look at, you can do it in 2-3 hours. I've spent as many as 6 hours here and felt like I didn't see everything I wanted to see. I've got friends that have spent 10 hours here. But this is a new section they added a few years ago to expand the Hamburg area and show the rebuilding. When the first time I came to Hamburg in 2003, this area here was not built up yet. They were just getting ready to rebuild it. And this only opened about 4 years ago. That's the Elbe Philharmonie. But this was once a very rundown, dilapidated part of Hamburg. And in real life, they've rebuilt it to this. Here you can go into the apartment building, the fitness center. There's a hidden room with spies. So every floor there, and I forget which building it is, but you'll have one guy is doing nude pictures on the copy machine, and there's a couple getting it on in the guy's office, political protests. And it just goes on and on. Hey, Tim JD, how are you? Just, and the thing is, I have to stop and look with my eyes, so I can't necessarily see what I'm doing on the camera. But the famous Hamburger Bridge, which they're replacing, I think this is the one they're replacing. Here's the big Hamburg Hauptbahnhof. They're protesting for shorter days, Artie, for shorter days. Since they're 187 size, they want the days to be 187 long.
So we can start a fire over here.
Okay, wait a second. So again, there's just actually most of it, it's probably about a 50-50 split. So if you look in here, it is definitely, this area is 3 rail. This is Märklin K-track. And it is 3 rail. But it's about half 3 rail and half 2 rail. But this area was 3 rail because when they started, and this is one of the older areas, Märklin was a big sponsor and contributor. But when I asked them, they now say like most of their trains are Fleischmann and Pico. And then converted as they see fit. So this is more of Hamburg, and there's a fire here. So Jean Ricard is going to start a fire.
I hope so, at least.
All right, Artie, you go to bed.
Good night, Archie.
All right, did you start the fire?
No, I think I got the church instead because it's this trumpet of Michaelis.
Oh, gotcha.
So.
Okay, here we go. Here's the fire.
Okay.
That's just one little push button bits they do. I said it. And it just keeps going. There's so much to see, and this is only one half of this room. There's a whole section over there yet to show you, but I want to get through this section and show it to you, especially this corner up here. All right, I'm gonna.
Right now we have.
And see here now, if you look at the track, you can see the track is 2 rail here. So yes, some of it's 3 rail, some of it's 2 rail. But this is also a continuation from over there. This is the old Speicherstadt. Speicher is a warehouse city. Now, hang on. So, because the one thing they haven't done yet is there's now a bridge. But if you look here, they were supposed to be rebuilding this, but this is a model of Miniatur Wonderland in Miniatur Wonderland. It actually was a longer building, but they chopped it off when they moved it over here. Huh. Oh, right there. There they are. Yeah, the torchbearers just lit up. But it's just huge. It's massive. And it just goes back and back and back. And this is the football stadium, football arena. And on the pitch are the two Hamburg teams playing each other. The Piraten. FC St. Pauli, the Piraten. And then the Hamburg FC. But look at the crowd they put in here. And then the stadium. Robert, at the very beginning we showed the whole train system, and no, it's their own program. It's their own system. It's not any system you can buy. It was all designed by Garrett Brown along with his crew, one of the owners, and the people that work with them. They have their own control system, and the control system is mammoth. If you want to see kind of what it looks like, you'd have to go back to the video because we're kind of not in the place to get to it again. But again, the depth and how far, and there's just trains moving everywhere from different eras, and we're going into nighttime again. So you got the soccer. And I'm going to come around here. Joyce and Jean-Ricard are just natural-born button pushers.
Yeah.
Sounds like management material.
There goes one of my locomotives. They got the flame Vectron running here right now. There's just so much, and it's just so deep. The famous Fernsehturm of Hamburg. And again, what you'll see here's a wall, which technically ends a room, but this carries on and becomes the section of this place that's called Mittel Deutschland, Middle Germany. But again, I've only shown you half of this room. This one, the big train parking areas. I think it's in the next room. They have what they call the ICE parking area, where they just have all their ICEs lined up. But there's no part of this place that isn't alive, active, and draws your attention in. And you just, I know friends that come here and just say, today I'm just going to spend 3 hours in Scandinavia. They have season passes. I'm just going to spend so much time in this section of the layout today, rather than try to see everything. There's a Czech EC, just like I run. All right. But they have 30-some people at any given time on the controls of this entire area. And 100-some cameras keeping an eye on everything. Okay, I'm going to come back this way. But this is the United States section. So over there is the Hamburg and beginning of Middle Germany section. This is the United States. And this has been changed since I first came here in 2003. But they have Las Vegas, a representation of Las Vegas. You got the space shuttle there. You have a tornado coming. You have and it's not geographically accurate. So like you have, oops, sorry. You have Florida. You have sort of a Miami Beach representation here. Then you have Cape Canaveral, so sort of a Florida section. And then, so we get to see American locomotives if we have any American friends in. Then we have Las Vegas in the desert. We're getting ready to launch the space shuttle. Now, when it first started, it actually had sort of a much greater flame effect, but they kept having problems with it, so they had to change it out to just the little LED light system. But again, you got semis running on their car system. Their car system is amazing. So you got this, and I don't know if you can see back here. I'll try to zoom in, but you have King Kong back here. Hey, Mark from Model Railway Fantasia and Hot Dog Andy Pilot, how are you? Sorry guys, my chat had stopped scrolling, so it had been frozen for a while. Am I flying out when I get to the airport? No, I won't fit on any plane. I'm too big. But everything's on timers. There are certain trains that run at certain times, then they go and park, and other trains will come out and go. Cars, and then there are certain events scheduled certain number of times a day. Car crashes. So it's all controlled by computer systems, and the computer systems are so elaborate. So you have the old Las Vegas passenger station there. Tim, they have people of various heights and skinniness, and they have special ladders to cross. Actually, you can see one right over here. That is a fold-down section that goes above. So if a train derails sort of in the middle here, that will actually fold down. And then there is a post that they will stick in up at the top there. There's a post that they stick in to bounce it in the middle of the table here so that it doesn't damage any of the scenery. In other cases, they just literally take off their shoes and hop on the table. There are areas where, and they're actually trained and shown, every minute detail is scripted as to if a train derails here, here's how we get to it. If we need to fix this section, here's how we get to it. And the thing is, even some of these areas actually lift up. But the seams are so beautifully hidden, you don't realize it. Every now and then you'll see somebody pop up and it just shocks you that, oh, I didn't even see the seams there. Now, they have moved this around. When I first came here in 2003, this section here, sort of the Grand Canyon-like section, was over here. And Miami was way over there. But then they started building the Alps section, and they actually cut a lot of the American section out. The American section is smaller, although still fun, than it was back in 2003 and 4, the first two times I came here. But if you like your American trains, there you got chassis system going. The Rock Island lines there. Yeah, the Germans moved Miami. The Germans are like that. sometimes we get flowing traffic two different ways. And again, I know you guys want to stop, but here they have sort of their cowboy section, the adobes and that. There's sort of like a border town near the Mexican border, but some of the old Arizona and New Mexico desert areas as well. And we'll come around. And again, this is the oldest section of this. These things go back 16, 17 years. Oh yeah, the folks all parachuting. It's half and half, Mark. Half of the area is 2-rail, half is 3-rail. And the two companies' trains they use the most, they do have a lot of Märklin, especially from their earliest days. They used Märklin in 3-rail because there were advantages to using 3-rail. But it was also cheaper to go to 2-rail once they developed computer systems. Now, you might have looked at those trucks and thought, oh, they stopped. But if you look, whoops, I'm sorry, it's too low. You might not see them. There we go. But there's actually a red light. There's actually a red light that they're waiting for. So all the trucks stop and wait for the light to change, and then they'll go again. So now you have Mount Rushmore. Actually, Matt Clark is somewhere else, Tim. Yeah. So this is the American Rocky Mountains, which is a section they added on a couple years later. And all the signage is in German and English. But you have a Christmas village. You have lumberjacks. You have bizarre little trolls doing magic here. A lumberjack is chopping down a tree here, and the tree will magically stand back up and then fall again when you hit the button. And then here's Big Gulch. But you have people from all around the world here. Hey, Jean. Hey, Jean. Joyce. Joyce. I know. But he needs to hear this. He needs to hear this. You see, this is Big Gulch, right? Yeah. And you see how they're having a party? Yeah. That's for the death of Stanley Steamer.
No. Actually, it's the celebration before. And then Clark is about to lose the lighting of the goal. Falling off. This isn't saloon singing. Okay.
Yep. That's something I'm building as soon as I get back, I hope. Okay, so now we just left the second room. All right, we've only been in 2 rooms. There's like 13 rooms. And we've already seen Scandanavia, Hamburg, and more. But Robert, if Robert's still here. Hey, Ifo. No, we have not gone there yet, Ifo. We did take a picture of it coming in, but we haven't gotten there yet. But here's the control system. So for those of you who just came in, here's the control system. This is the public part of it. There's another room back around here where there's a lot more techs working. But they have people everywhere because there's always something that shorts, something that's not running smooth. and they go. But we were here earlier for those of you who just come in, so we're going to move on and continue what's Mittel Deutschland. But even in between, they just have little different displays. Like this is a seasonal display.
Halloween too. Halloween train.
Oh, there we go, the Halloween train. So there are certain things that they only run at certain times of year or at the start of a certain season, like the spring train, and these will be on.
They are watching them.
Yeah, like this is the World Cup. This is the World Cup train. So they ran this when Germany won the World Championship a few years ago. And again, by the way, there's 2 floors of this plus another building.
This is actually the oldest part.
Yeah, this is the oldest part.
Yeah.
This is the first part. Because we were here 2 years after they opened. And it's amazing, and that's why, and then we came back. We took a few years where we didn't come here. Because I kind of talked my students into it. And yet the first 2 groups loved it. But this is called Mittel Deutschland, and it starts over there. And again, guys, there's just so much I can't go and focus. The castles, there are castles all through this shot here, way in the back here, castle here. We're getting nighttime again. We've got a Rheingold, or is it a Orient Express run? But I think it's a Rheingold. It's dark, I can't see. But this is a representation of the middle of Germany. There are some things that are actual and some things that are just sort of meant to bring out the ideas. And this is the oldest section. And again, so when you get in here, they've repaired some areas with some levels of static grass and so forth, but originally they just used scatter grass in these areas. Yeah, Vesuvius is erupting. If you're hearing banging in the background, Mount Vesuvius is erupting. We'll get you to that, because that's one of the coolest things. It's hard to believe. We had visited before, just as they were building Vesuvius, and then came back a few years later after it had been installed. It's 15 minutes. Is no, it's 15 minutes and then 5 minutes dark. 15 minutes and then 5 minutes dark. Yeah, Robert, I don't think the Germans give a lick about Manchester City winning the FA Cup. Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Because the only German squad that matters to anything is FC Bayern, and they're not my team. My team's Werder Bremen, which is now in League 2. I don't know if they got promoted back up to League 1. They won the championship in 2004, the second year of our exchange program, and then they haven't done anything since. Here's an amazing little castle. All right, take care, Andy. They actually have a fire event at this building too that you can't control. They do it. They do it like once or twice a day. And all the fire trucks have to come up the road and issues happen. Here, I'll let you try to see the 3-level bridge they built back there. And yes, trains go across all 3 levels. We have seen this train in 3 sections so far. It's running a route across the entire layout. And this is 3-rail if Mark Model Railway Fantasia is here. So we're back. These older areas are 3-rail. Joyce and I finally paid the money last year, or 4 years ago now. God, last year, 4 years ago. And we went and did the background tour. And like I was saying earlier in the stream, they don't skimp. Just because something's in the background where the average person doesn't see it, doesn't mean there's not something there, including a velociraptor attack back here. There are jokes they put in that only the workers know about. Got an OBB freight train coming through. That's Österreichisches Bundesbahn, Austrian Federal Rail. And here comes an ICE. An ICE 4, in fact. And I don't know if that's the Pico AC version or the American one. And then just back here, the depth and the detail. And again, this is the oldest section, so they are in the process of beginning to just come through and clean it up a bit. And, you know, it's gotten old. And after years, dust gets on it, and they do vacuum these places like nightly. And workers have to, they have actual air duct areas up in the ceiling that they can plug vacuums in and vacuum so they're not dragging the hose across the trees and that. And then they have footpaths that the workers are trained to walk on so that they can reach areas. But still, you know, this stuff was done with the technology of 20 years ago, and model train technology just in the last 10 years has exploded so much. In fact, that is a cleaning car going through right now, a track cleaning car. But they are constantly in a state of maintenance with this. Constantly. I actually got to help a guy once because he was kind of stuck in a situation, and I just came in and lended a quick hand, you know, because they were having a car that kept coming apart and separating on a passenger train. Here comes a long freighter. Oh, you bought the IC4, Tom? Cool.
government, so you should go below it.
How you doing, Jean?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. I was just sitting here saying that, you know, we had the great showstopper,
Yeah.
and it's amazing because even that made Miniatur Wonderland doing wonderful things, because when you see how many people that are here, they used the time to renew the entire
Floors,
floor
yep.
of
When they had to close, yeah, they rebuilt so much. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in that way, they really used it to the best of their abilities.
Yeah. All these guys are, in my opinion, they are the model of how you run a company.
Yeah.
The lowest worker here is paid better than an average teacher in the United States.
Yeah, but it doesn't say anything about the payment of the worker here.
Yeah.
It says something about the wages of the teachers in the United States.
But again, these guys could be billionaires, but they instead of personal profit, it goes back into this, into their workers, health care, everything. The night crews here make good money. The vacuum people make good money here. It's a career. It's not a job they do for a couple of years before they move on to a real job. It is their job until they find something that would pay them even better. That's why some of these people have been here for 20, 22 years.
Yeah, but I think they do have to consider, because they also get older, you know, so at the time you will have, and we have seen it when they have shown films, you know, from that they sometimes have to say goodbye to people going on pension.
Yeah. Oh, the guy that built all these big bridges retired.
Yeah.
And, you know, all you can do is, and he made enough money here. He retired to his boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. So now we're getting into the Alpine region. If you haven't figured out from all the balloons and the other stuff, the owners, the two twin brothers, the public owners, there's two private owners, a silent partner and their father. They're very, very progressive people. Oh, a night train. I just missed it. A Swiss night train, I think. No, Austrian night train. Not the night jet, but a night train, Nachtzug. The cleaning car is stopped here. I don't know if they've done that while they're waiting for trains to finish a circuit before it can go on. But you can see there's a ski resort back here. I'm sorry, I'll take my finger off. There's a ski resort back there. And people doing slalom skiing or whichever form of downhill skiing they're doing. You can animate the ski lifts there. They used to run permanently, but they've since made it animated just to save wear and tear on it. And those are made by the company Jägendorfer Collection, I believe, who are famous more for their ski lifts, Zesselbahn and such, than they are for their model trains, which are very exclusive, very touchy. Some can be really good quality, some can be really weak. But yeah, this area here was one of the first expansions, because they started with central Germany and then quickly added Hamburg and then Scandanavia and then the Alps. They did rapid expansion.
Drone or camera so you can crew it over the area. I don't know if they allow that, but
it could be interesting. Well, I mean, I've seen people with selfie sticks and doing all that, and boom mics and that. Professional photographers all here. I'm going on to Knuffingen. Okay, now we're entering an area that was built in the about 10 years ago, and again, I don't remember the exact dates, and I wasn't going to cheat and go to my code. But this is the famous Knuffingen Airport. you still have the Alps, and just to show you the detail, okay, that is down on the 3rd floor. We're up on the 4th floor. That mountain here is from the base floor to the top over 20 feet tall. That is over 7 meters tall. And it just goes on, and basically the Matterhorn. And again, this stuff was first created a few years ago. You can see it's getting dark again. If you see a train, how long to see it again? It depends on which route it's running. There are some trains you literally might see once in a 4-hour visit. There are other trains. Sorry, somebody's sending me attachments here. So there are so many different circuits here. It just depends on which section you're on. There are some you might see it every 15 minutes. There are some where you might see it once in a 2-hour period, because they're all automated. So they will run a certain course maybe once or twice, and then they will go park and another train will come and take over. Yep, we've gone into nighttime again. But obviously most of you probably are now familiar with the famous Knuffingen airport, which is actually based on Hamburg's airport. But because it's not 100% accurate to Hamburg airport, they called it Knuffingen. Let me see if I can get in here somewhere and catch, because they both take off and land. Oops, Entschuldigung. Actually, Mark, it's rather, this is in the evening, and we probably have half to a third of the crowd we would have middle of the day. Whoops, hang on, here comes a plane landing, or taking off, I believe. Yeah, he landed. And then they go around. Joyce and I got to go in 2019, we got to go back inside. There's a room back there you can go into and see how they operate it back there. But if you didn't know, they have a departure board. And they have a few jokes. For example, Mothra from Japanese monster movies flies in now and then, the Millennium Falcon. Okay, here's a takeoff. My friend Heinz, when we would come here together, he would spend most of the time just watching the planes. He so loved the airport. He didn't care to watch the rest, go around the rest of the layout, because he'd seen it a couple of times and that was enough. Like I said, we're still in the old sections where the craftsmanship is good but has been improved upon.
To whom are we speaking now?
Mark from Model Railway Fantasia is here.
Yeah.
Tom Erkman's Robert's Train Set is here. Model Railway Shadino. Hot Rod Andy was here. Hot Dog Pilot Randy was here, but he left for dinner.
Okay.
We were up to 19 at one point. We're down to 9 that are just watching.
It's a great stream.
Yeah, we probably lost about 10 minutes at one point where we were off internet, but Streamlabs kept going, so on replay it should still be there.
Yeah.
This stuff is so impressive here, and yet this is their oldest tech, which they try to upgrade as they can. Although the airline, I think it's been 10, 12 years at least since they opened the airline now.
Yeah, and they have expanded it.
Yes.
Considerably since.
Because I remember when they added this.
Yeah. Okay. I only think I ever saw it, with the landing and start.
Mm-hmm. No, the first time I saw it, it had this here, that there, and a bit there, and this was open. They didn't have anything here, and then they added this, which I assume they had planned all along and just did it in sections.
Have you shown the Alps section there? Where
Yeah, show how deep it is. That it's like 7 meters tall on the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, even on the sides, they just do little scenes here. Like, there's so many little things. I can't show it all to you. That's why you, once in your life, if you're into models, if you're into model trains, you have to come here because they have all these little cavern displays. These are alpine cavern displays. They have hidden, here you can kind of see behind the scenes as the trains go through. But I don't want to call it a Schottenbahnhof, but you almost could say it's that. But it's just an underground passage through the, but they do park them at times while they await their turn to go.
And now we're in Bavaria.
And now it's, yep. And there's Neuschwanstein.
Yeah.
And there's the Marienbrücke, which Joyce and I stood on in 2017 to get our view of Neuschwanstein. We did not go to the castle itself. We debated and then decided we didn't want to wait in line for 3 hours. Yeah, Robert, you definitely have to buy a ticket in advance, and I would seriously say at least 6 months ahead. You can walk up and buy tickets. They always have a reserve number for people to walk up, but on their busiest days, you might wait 3 hours in line to get a public access ticket. So it's always advisable to buy in advance. And here's just a little behind the scenes access to some of their circuit boards so you can...
There's a tunnel.
Yeah, boring machine here. Yeah, down here they got the tunnel boring machine. Oh, it's over there. There it is. Oh, there, I'll get it right. There we go. But it's, you can't activate it right now.
No.
And then the last part of our little visit to the Alps, although we will go down that way, I think. But this is based on an actual mine in Switzerland, both lumberyard and mining. Cement factory, where they mine the rock to come in and make the cement and concrete. They have a little toboggan racing thing up here. There it goes.
Das ist schneller wie die Wasserrutsch. Das ist das Town. Ja, nicht mehr.
Kinderspielplatz.
Ja, das ist was nicht immer so dunkel.
Kinderspielplatz.
Ja, dann mal spielen, die Leute, die filmen.
There's a little story here. This is a true story about a village that was destroyed when they built a dam. And the village flooded, and it's a dead village. And when they decided to change the dam, I forget exactly the full story, but there's now this old decayed village that still sits there, including the church, and these guys built a little joke scene with it, with ghosts having a party there. And then up on top of the dam, you have a polar bear checking the sites.
Oh, people. Okay, and now.
Actually, I want us to send a special greeting to Lord Al, you know.
Okay.
And if you focus on this area with the tunnel boring machine, you know, I'll start the show.
Well, Lord Al Abbey.
There's something he's locked in, it seems like, because his
Mark, we showed the Scandinavian port area. But like I said, I'm actually walking through a lot faster than I normally would, just so I can show as much of this to you all as I can, and yet still stream. But I also want to look at things. But it's just...
I can see Joyce. She's standing way back there.
Yeah.
In the pink.
Yeah, she stands out in the crowd to me anyhow, but that's a different... Oh yeah, she's going to get her picture of a plane.
Oh man. And here we have the rack railway, you know, going really steep.
Yeah, so a narrow gauge.
And I don't know where the train is right now. It's probably...
You have this little rescue scene. Somebody got... There goes that track cleaning car again. But this is a rescue scene. They've got somebody in the... I don't know what you'd call that station. Right, who's sending me messages?
It might be Joyce asking where we are.
No, it's some scam email. Somebody asking, hey, how are you? I saw your name on PPL. I'm not on PPL, so I don't know what the hell they're smoking. But just, there's... And Jackie keeps sending me messages. Jackie, I am live streaming. Oh yeah, Carl, we showed that in the Scandinavia section because that's where we started and then moved into the Germany section, the oldest sections. Okay, she caught sight of us and is coming. But for those of you who don't know, there's... Oh, you missed a train? Yeah, because there's one that runs under the steps here. They have trains running in the floor. They have trains running across the ceiling. Oh my goodness, stop sending me messages. The Swiss-Italian border. And again, now here's an idea, again, just how tall and deep that mountain is. See, we're on another floor here. Okay.
And this is a train elevator to lift up the trains from one level to another instead of a
Right.
What you call it, Gleiswindel.
Yeah, the helix.
Helix, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, when they want to change levels on a train, they'll park them in here, and you can see there's a little chain drive over here, and it raises them up, and then they go on to the next. In fact, here it goes. So these guys are getting ready to go up into the scenes. So you can see right up here, you can see where it's going to go in now. It was down here, But now they're going to park it up there, if it's this one, because they will rotate him, and there it goes. Now he's going to go, I think. Any minute now. Any minute now. There he goes. And now he's going into an upper level. Okay. Wasn't Vesuvius upstairs? Or is it down here? Oh, gotcha. Okay, right. The thunderstorm in the American section. Oh, yeah, here's the James Bond, like the international world domination. They have all these little characters and scenes. This is all their little sci-fi jokes. Dr. Frankenstein and zombies and space aliens and Area 51 jokes. Here they're filming the fake moon landing. There's just jokes everywhere. Okay, so now we've left the Swiss Alps and Austrian Alps, and now we come into one of the newer sections, Italy. And we'll just start you off with the great one here. It's tough when they're going to align it with the lights. They like to do it in the dark, so it is getting darker here. Is it going to go? Come on. It's very cool. It's even more amazing when you can sit here and see all the detail that doesn't pick up on a camera while you're watching it on a camera, but you get to stand here live and see it. But I know I'm lucky that I can make these trips to Germany and I get to stay here. But if you ever have a chance and you're into model trains and just think this kind of tech stuff is cool, tech guys, model train guys, model building guys, some of you guys out there could actually get jobs here because you're good, and these guys are always looking for good when they have to retire somebody. But they have Mount Vesuvius, and then they have Pompeii and Herculaneum here. And what's fun with it is that they have both modern history, you know, like if you look right here, it's modern tourists, but back here you have Roman gladiators and so they're not worried about, wait, how can you have Romans centurions and gladiators and that, while modern tourists are walking around. They just create both scenes for you. So again, more of the Swiss Alps coming in on this side. Well, you know, I don't want to be negative comparing. I don't want to be negative comparing. Northlands is awesome, and considering that was built by a guy and his friends, and it's massive, it's amazing. But this is a different type of layout building. It is professionals who, you know, use the highest level of skill and tools to do this. And I've been to both, and yeah, I mean, stylistically and technique-wise, Northlands is cool, but it's not even close in league to this. But Northlands is still amazing because that's one guy and some friends doing it, not hired professionals with a much bigger budget.
Italian.
So we're slowly working our way towards the Amalfi Coast section. All right, Richard, take care. I'll be on probably for another... oh, wow. If I tried to show you everything, I'd be on for another 2-3 hours. But Jean Ricard is going to get tired here a bit. Joyce and I are going to get tired. And to be honest, I'm moving slower than I planned just because I want to make sure I look at this besides just film it. But I've been here so many times and I haven't even gotten to the section I'm here to see because there's 3 new sections. And so I'm trying to... So here we go into the Amalfi Coast area. And again, if you look at the water technique here versus some of the water technique in earlier sections, you can see the skill, the techniques, the instruments, the tools all have upgraded. So this is a newer section built between 8 years ago and 3 years ago, 4 years ago. You can see, compare this to the older section, you know, definitely a higher use of static grass. I even, sadly, I skipped the vineyards way up on the mountainside up there. Just because I'm trying to get through so much. Again, you could easily you could do it in 2-3 hours if you just walk through and just kind of look at everything a little bit. But if you really want to visit here, you got to plan on 4 or 5 hours. If you really want to see everything here and get a fair view of it, 4 to 5 hours would be a minimum. The longest I have spent here is about 6 hours. I did that with Joyce in 2019. We came here and stayed the day here. We didn't have friends with us. It was just Joyce and I here, and so we just. Here's a part of Italy. They have the spaghetti western scene here. Spaghetti western scene being filmed here, you know, the old Sergio Arione movies and that. And of course, a million joke scenes. For example, you got a Triceratops with a cowboy on it. This just sets everything off here. Again, here's the push button. And now everything will start up. Oops. The wall falls there. There's a fight on the rooftop. There's a bronco busting in the middle. There'll be a shootout. There is a mule reading a newspaper and a Lord Al Lavey here. Mark, the stadium is on another floor and way back, so unfortunately we can't work our way back there. All right, Robert, you take care. And another dragon flying around a castle.
This is really big though.
Yeah.
It's a film set. So and there's Matt Clark's office. You can see there. Actually, Matt Clark is going down there.
Well, technically that'd be the sheriff's office, so that's that would be Buck's office.
Okay. And even here, Lord Al is present with no less than 4 Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't open this time.
Okay.
Because there's the mule reading a newspaper in there. Yeah, the wall falls and then the fight starts up here. The 2 cowboys fighting, the Bronco busting, the Lucky Luke shootout.
Okay.
Some of them just aren't working, you know, unfortunately, because yeah, you can see right here, this is where the shootout was, and they had the 2 poles, so obviously they're fixing it.
And the picks are moving.
The grave burials not happening because you had the guy that was carrying all the graves. This is based on that Italian. They discovered a park that had been hidden for like 200-300 years. That some rich Italian guy had built and died or whatever, and this part of his estate just was overgrown. All right, we need to get to the news sections. Yep. But I want to get to the news sections. And here's the DJ Bobo. Am I saying that name right? Yeah, DJ Bobo, who is a big musical star, although he's not as big as he was, but a big DJ Bobo concert. And they do change this every time he comes out with a new album and stage show. They change this to match his latest stage show. And then they have a little video down there of his actual concert. There's just so much, guys, so you're going to have to forgive me if I don't show everything, or you see something and go, wait, go back, I want to see that. Oh, there you go, the chocolate. Do they still have the little button where you get the chocolate? This is the Lindt chocolate factory from Switzerland. And still, I'm bouncing back and forth. I tried to do one territory at a time, but yeah, Switzerland really rolls. They really went out with Switzerland, and then, because I don't think they were planning on really expanding much further after Switzerland. They had plans, but they didn't know how they're going to do it. So they really wanted to make Switzerland sort of the showcase. And now you almost walk past Switzerland because you're checking out Italy. Wait, did John go into the next room already? Yep. Okay. Here's Venice. Now, in 2017, they had opened Italy, but they had not opened Venice yet. So it was in 2019 that we saw Venice for the first time. And in 2019, when we were watching Venice, they were just working on the French section, the Provence and Monaco. So they were finishing Venice, but they hadn't opened it yet. They had delayed it. It was supposed to be open when we got there in 2017, but they had opened Italy and Rome, but they had not opened Venice. So it was 2019 when Joyce and I got to see Venice for the first time. Let's see the clock tower. This is... They have active scene where people chase pigeons away. It's just so much. So, but yeah, when we saw this in 2019, fully installed, and again, we were watching all the videos of them building it, and we had seen all these sections, but coming here and seeing it together, the amount of detail in these buildings. And this is all, okay, this is not models you go out and buy. They had to custom make these models. Now, they did a lot of it with 3D graphic design and their own 3D printing. There is a room, which you can see on the behind the scene tours, behind the scene tours, where you can go see their massive CNC boards, their 3D printing section. They've just got so much. It's amazing.
They stop the boats.
Oh yeah, they rock them up and down. Yeah.
That's cool. Bridge collapse.
Okay, that turned that one on. Yeah, the Zagong, yeah. They have the people chasing each other around there, knocking people over and doing that, and then you have a bridge collapses. But the lights are going up. Oh, Entschuldigung. Yep, okay.
Okay, no problem.
Danke schön. Entschuldigung. But yeah, Italy was really their first build with all the new tech, where they had all the new static grass designs and static grass devices, machines. This is the Termini Roma, the Roman main station, and it's their, I don't know, I believe they said that in terms of length and depth, not in terms of number of tracks and platforms, but in terms of length and depth, it was their biggest station. There's just eye candy everywhere. You know, the famous, what are they? I think they're called the Spanish Steps. The Vittorio Emanuele. That's just all the rooms with different things, and there's always joke scenes. There's always joke scenes somewhere, somehow. Many adult joke scenes as well. This is one you really want to... Here, I'll see if I can get this one going again. Little porcelain shop. Hey Ian, how are you? So this is Rome. You got this amazing thoroughfare through here. The station. Now I've been here when the station's just had trains going in and out, and it's just the time of day and what's running and where they are on their routes. Because this is a massive build. This is easily 30 feet long here. You know, 9 meters more. But they took out the Victor Emmanuel little display here at the Victor Emmanuel. Are you all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just sitting here waiting for those to acknowledge the...
All right, so now you want to talk about detail. Here's a totally hand scratch, and it's built at I think they said 1/115th scale, but it's St. Paul's Cathedral in the Vatican. So you do have the Pope in there. You do have the Pope in there. But this was all hand sculpted. Even before 3D printing, they had to sculpt the prototypes to put them into designs. They had to sculpt them and then 3D photograph them and then print them. Muss den Knopf ein bisschen lang halten, drücken. And actually workers, there's an access skirt down here, and workers can actually come up and get their heads up in here to repair anything that needs done in here. Sometimes I think it can even have the opposite effect. You know, you're a model railway builder, then you see what these guys do, and you go, I can never compete with that, and walk away. But no, it's just so amazing because, I mean, half the people here are not into model trains. Probably 70% of the people here are not into model trains. They are here because this is so amazing, and they just come to see it. Okay, so we'll come to the Colosseum now. But again, this was really the first new section in 5 years. They had kind of hit a point and they were like, where do we go next? And they had some ideas, and that's when they began negotiations to buy the building next door. And so we got the famous Roman Colosseum. And again, this was hand built. Even the brickwork, this was not 3D printed, this was hand built. And if you don't believe me, you can go watch the Miniature Wonderland videos where they show how it was constructed and the 2 girls and 1 guy that built it. Okay, so now that I'm away from the train station, you can see trains are starting to come in. But this is where they really kind of went next generation in design. They had revamped the entire electrical system, control system, everything. They completely revamped it and decided they could now start doing more things, but also static grass was becoming more easily accessible. So I don't know how well you can see that castle back there, but that's one of the first ones where they really started using static grass instead of scatter and the old-fashioned methods of creating tall standing grass. Here's the Trevi going in, or the Trevi fountain. A little secondary station in here. And these are the type of cars I'm looking for right now. These are Austrian OBB, Österreichisches Bundesbahn. These are Austrian EC cars, Eurofirma cars. And I want a rake of those. Joyce and I will actually be riding on one soon. Yeah, the 3 aqueduct gate. Yep. And I have been lucky, especially in my last 2 visits. I have met so many of the more famous workers here and gotten to talk to them, including one of the owners, Garrett Brown. And for those of you, even graffiti makes it.
Ja, richtig, stimmt, ja. Ja, genau.
And we're heading into the French section, the Provence. So coming out of the Italian Alps into the still Italy, but heading towards the French Alps and the Provence section. But you can see it's still Italy because they have all the linens out here hung. And they just kept building all the way through. They just, wherever they could take out a support wall, replace it with a steel beam or two. And then here you go, where they're working on Monaco. This is Monaco, as we say in German, or Monaco. I'll come around and give you a better, but this is not completely open yet. Some of the sections of France are open, but this section is not fully open yet because they're still building it. So they actually build a temporary containment unit around it while they're working on it, but you can see it. And the big thing they're trying to do here, of course, if you follow it, is they are still trying to design, and now they have to work on it in the board. They're still trying to figure out the best way to run the Monaco Grand Prix. And they keep finding something that works, and they get so much closer, but then their systems run into new snags. So I'm coming around so you can see it here. You can see here they're doing temporary tests.
Liebe Gäste des Miniatur-Wunderlandes, darf ich Sie ganz kurz um Ihre Aufmerksamkeit bitten. Seit 2007 helfen wir hilfsbedürftigen Kindern mit unseren wunderschönen Spendenpins. Die Wunderland-Pins oder Magnete kosten 2,90 €, die komplett an Hilfsorganisationen oder Einrichtungen gehen, die sich um Kinder kümmern. Insgesamt konnten wir schon über 700.000 € spenden. Wir würden uns riesig freuen, wenn Sie sich auch an dieser Aktion beteiligen würden.
So unfortunately, I mean, I can zoom in and you can see the detail, but they have been working on this section for so long. And yes, it's a yacht. And there are many yachts. Sadly, Ian, you already missed, or I went through the one sailing park, although there's more to come. But yes, they show yachts. Now, this is a concert, and you could actually buy. A famous German singer came here, and they were doing it as a fundraiser. And you can still do it. You can buy a figure and put it in, because they still have seating available. But they did raise the money they wanted to raise. But yes, you can still go over, I think it's 10 euros, whatever it was. Oh, 25 euros. Okay. No, it can be 10 euros. 25 euros, you get 4 seats, but you and your friends can do it. You donate the money, and they will put figures in, and they'll list your name in the attendance. I forget the Helena Fischer, that's her name. So a Helena Fischer concert. No, there's no David Hasselhoff on the layout. But here's one part of France, the Provence, that is, you can get up to it and see it. And they're still working on it in some ways. But this is the section they were just working on and hoping to get open when COVID hit, and COVID did slow it down. But Joyce and I were here in 2019, and they had some of this set up, but they did not have it complete. Now they have it complete enough that trains are running and they have the buildings all molded up and that. So this part's done. They just need Monaco to work better. And again, you can see Monaco here, and you can see where it's on the other side, but you can see where they're still trying to fit in. They've got a little Schattenbahnhof area down there, underground station there with people and everything. But yeah, let's see if I could get up there. But they're trying to put in this very complex race, because I mean, anybody could do like a Fowler car, but they want the cars to actually have random abilities where the cars will all drive independently, like actual drivers driving them, or a different car might win every race instead of it being programmed that way. The cars can pass, spin out, crash, and the computer will control it all. And it's such a complex system that they've gone through 4 different programming companies who just give up, and then they've been doing it on their own, and they get it real close that you can, I don't know how well you can see it, but there is some white micro board in there. That's actual computer board, and that will be, but like every square centimeter has a different processing section attached to it, and the computers have to feed this. So they have it working, but there are still glitches where cars will suddenly stop where they shouldn't be stopping, or cars will start to pass and one will just suddenly stop, or they won't pass where they should pass, or they're not slowing down where they should. There are just little errors that millions of errors basically that they have to go through and then fix the code for that one error. And then once they fix that one, the next one lights up and they have to fix that error code. But eventually, maybe within the next year, they might actually have it working because they obviously have the road track ready to go. They've got the board in. But there are videos that show you how to do it. Okay, I think we need to move on to the news section. We need to go across the bridge. The question is where? But Joyce and Jean-Ricard are being very patient while I live stream.
Here you can actually see the underfloor going and what's behind it.
Right. So yeah, here's a little, it's an end-to-end bit, but you'll see these trains, okay, and this is the little shot in Bahnhof, and they're going to build more to it. And then it will literally go under the floor here, and then, and you'll see it come through here. Here's another little hidden train station, ICE. Ivo, you're such an impatient man. Ifo. But like this is the tunnel to go. But there you go. But yeah, those trains will show you, and then all of a sudden, they will, oh, by the way, here we go. So we're on that bridge. Maybe some of you saw the video where they put this in place, but yeah, in beautiful Hamburg. But here they go. There goes a TGV, high-speed train. Now, I'm filming this from above. You're getting a helicopter view, but, and they had a contest where people got to design different sections and create different climate adventures. But sadly, we just had the nice TGV going.
This is actually a Dutch scene.
Yep.
With the tulip fields and the Dutch
And the windmill.
Yeah. And then you have the tropical lagoon island.
Here comes the train through. And then it goes under, so you have a little island atoll bit with another boat. Bunch of stacked containers, which create a divide.
The mass container ship.
Yep.
And then we have the Arctic.
So you have this little Arctic section with a
Whale jumping out.
humpback whale, I think.
Yeah.
Little sort of jungle-like scene.
Going
Desert,
past
Egypt. And I think that's supposed to represent the old dye-making things, and then you got all the tires as well. Well, hopefully I'm gonna just stay here. So now, here we go. I have never been in this section before, people, so I can't even tell you what to expect. I've seen it being built, but this is all new. This is all new. And this is their newest. And what's unique about this is this was not built by the people of Miniature Wonderland. A few people from Miniature Wonderland did help, but this was primarily built by a South American company who would send designs based on what the Germans took pictures of, but they thought if they were going to do South America, South Americans should do it to get the true nuances. But there is so much. This is their newest and their most involved creation yet. I think it took them 10 years from concept to getting it open. All the while they're building and renewing other sections. This is just, it's lights. I mean, and if you want to hear something, there's very few trains in this. Even though this is a model train place, this part of South America, like this whole area here, there are no trains. At the Copacabana, hottest spot south of Havana. And Copa Banana next door to the Copacabana. So you got the Copa Banana next to the Copacabana. So like this entire section, there's no trains. They do have some rail cars, some trams that do run through here. I'm kind of waiting to see if one comes through. But again, I have to actually stop and see this. I can't just make sure the camera, I got to make sure I take this in. Oh, yep, there goes. Little, well, that's not rail cars. That's like narrow gauge, whatever they're doing. But these buildings are amazing. Yeah, it looks like one of them's derailed, doesn't it? It's hard to tell. But look at this building here and this one here, how elaborate that is. That wasn't Jean singing, that was me.
Just to show some of this is water jet skiing, you know, in a minute I'll get a green light.
Oh, there you go.
And we'll get that guy over there on the water jet.
Water jet.
I'm just so happy that he didn't get too close to the helicopter.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, that might be his buddy up here. Parasailing. And this is... Oh, you got a genie on a flying carpet right here. Jean, did you see the genie on the flying carpet?
No. Okay, yeah.
See, I tend to know where most of the joke scenes are, but this is all new to me, so I have to... Yeah, obviously, this was the one they had to repair, so they've still got to...
Oh, yeah. And
And so now we finally actually get to the running trains. And we're coming on 2 hours broadcast and down to 9 people. I really thought this might bring in more, but what can I say? My channel's been dying lately. I've lost like 10 subscribers in the last 4 days, and my live feeds aren't getting the viewers anymore. I'm going to have to actually do something noteworthy without resorting to cheap tricks, although you might accuse me of this is a cheap stunt, but guys, I'm here and I love my friends and I just wanted to share this with you, and rather than you having me tell you about it, show it to you while I'm going through it. No, I thought that looked the real best. Look at this gorgeous little trolley rail car. Tram, probably a better word. But yeah, this is my first time here seeing this part. I've been to Miniature Wonderland. This is number 6. This is number 6. Oh, the rainforest. Yeah, they're building a rainforest over there. There's Jean Ricard across there. Even he's going to get some pictures. Joyce is taking all kinds of pictures. And for example, the realism they put into, I'm trying to find a good example of it. Well, you got the nude sunbather there. But like the power lines here. If you were to see Rio de Janeiro, any of the big cities down in South America, how the electrical systems are just, I mean, you'd get fired in America for this kind of wiring, but it's just they're doing what they can as they can.
There kommt eine Bummelbahn.
I'm going to have to remember that word.
Und dann noch eine.
Okay, so when you press the button, there's a skateboard park over here. If Steve the Plumber 33 is watching, there's a little skateboarder that goes into action there. This is just a little market. Yes, that was a cleaning car there. Yep. Abstauber. Yeah, Jean and I actually will be posting another video. We'll have to make it maybe tomorrow, but we did go shopping at a couple of rail shops today and bought some things. Actually, Jean bought me some things. He did not need to, but he did buy me some things. I happened to mention, ooh, I kind of like that. And before I knew it, he had it on the counter and was buying it. I was like, dude, I can buy my own stuff. But that's what friends are for. Like I said, I mean, a place that is truly a model train thing. And yes, there are model trains running here, but your biggest eye catchers aren't even the trains anymore. It is the modeling. It is the famous buildings. And we're getting into Carnival. Okay. Dankeschön. So we're going to get Carnival going. Originally, this was designed to move a bit, but they don't have it moving. They were going to make it like a rotisserie belt. And again, the detailing. And, you know, a crew of 20 different workers from Miniature Wonderland made 3 different visits to 3 different sections a week, 2 weeks at a time, and their whole job was to take pictures up close, far away, widescreen, everything, so that they could recreate these elements in this whole South American bit here. Giant parrot. So yeah, the action starts at the front and then it just continues on and grows and grows and grows across. But like I said, this is my first time here, so I'm just kind of overwhelmed myself. My first time seeing the South American layout, because this is just amazing. So Sadly, I do want to see so much more of this, but I'm going to move over here, and this is getting into...
This is something from Austria. You know, all the sheep
Yeah.
being loaded to the narrow gauge train here.
So the two areas I'm going to show you now are the two brand newest areas, just opened, what, within the last 2 months?
No, it was opened last month.
Last month.
This, yeah, in the middle, in the end
May.
of May.
Right.
Section.
So, well, that's still within the last 2 months.
Yeah.
We argue over semantics. Jean Ricard likes to argue over semantics. Just ask him about the word great. Jean Ricard, would you describe this as great?
This is a very special train. It's the narrow gauge lines of Patagonia.
This is South America. This is
The most southerly, presumably, railway in the world. And they still run with steam locomotives.
Yep.
It's a heritage railway.
I got a diesel. Well, that's the cleaner that's going across the whole layout. Hey, Dragon Junction's there. Hi, Alan. I'm glad you're liking it. So this is Patagonia. So yeah, this just opened. Yeah, it was the middle of May towards the end of May. So you're seeing it before a lot of other people have. Although I'm sure a few thousand people have already seen it in the last 2 weeks.
But I really think that you should show all the sheep being loaded to the train there.
Well, Artie went to bed,
yeah, but still, he might see it later.
So all our Scottish and Australian friends, this is a lot of sheep, so don't get too excited.
And those trains are actually hand-built from the workers at Miniatur Wunderland.
Yep.
Because you cannot buy them in...
Oh, it's getting dark. But my thing is, normally, if I weren't streaming, I'd be walking around looking for all the joke scenes, because that's one of my favorite things to do, all the funny scenes. But since I'm streaming with you guys, I'm trying to show you the serious stuff and some of the joke scenes if I can get them in. The Gaucho Festival. Does it do anything in the dark?
Yeah, but you cannot see.
Oh, there we go. Oh, yep, it lights up. Can't quite see the dancers. Okay. Now again, every corner, nothing's wasted. And there's no way I can show you everything. You need to come here. All right, in just under 2 hours, I have shown you almost everything that is part of the normal main section. There's only one more section I got to show, which is once you do Patagonia. Once you do Patagonia and the glaciers. And you guys, I can't wait to show you this. I cannot wait to show you what I'm about to show you. But now we're into we're leaving South America and we are going into Antarctica, and you guys have got to see this. This is new level modeling on your layout. This has been a bit of a hidden surprise. They've talked about it, but they've talked about keeping it. Oh, that's the sea you were on about, Carl? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it is a carbon fiber display sheet with various things making it roll with then projected. You can see the projectors up there projecting the sea images on it. And it's multi-layered projection.
Yeah, it is.
So it crosses and just gives it that depth that makes it so real. My apologies, Carl, because I should have known that's what you were talking about, but I'm too distracted. But yeah, this is, and I myself had only seen a little bit about it. So just seeing it now here live, it's like, wow, this is absolutely amazing. So the tip of Patagonia into Antarctica, one of the weather stations, and one of the running jokes that I did not get a chance to share with you, but they're appropriate here. But Miniatur Wonderland loves its penguins. There are penguins in every section on every platform throughout Wonderland. It is a running joke. I don't know if it started with Freddie or Garrett, but it's a joke. There are penguins everywhere. You go to Italy and the Amalfi Coast, you will find some penguins sunbathing. You'll find some penguins eating spaghetti in the Rome. There are just penguins everywhere. But this is just mind-blowing. This is next gen. Here, let me let you get up close and see how that works. Yeah, they got the video that tells you how they did it, but I don't remember them showing the entire thing in action, because I just remember Garrett saying he wanted to keep the full show until they revealed it. But maybe they posted an updated video where they, once it had been revealed to the public, but it's amazing. And so you have and then you have the little Antarctica section here. So the seas between, what is it, Tierra de Fuego? Yes, there's ice breaking off the glacier.
Außer ein bisschen red, aber man sieht das an der anderen Seite nicht springen.
I'm going to come back and let you see some of this. But there are more exhibits, and there's a 3D reality bit that you pay extra for. I think it's an additional 20 euros extra, or 25 euros extra. And you can go into the 3D world where you can actually be miniaturized and put on the layout and walk around the layout through this 3D experience. We did not pay to do that one.
Trying to catch the seal on the ice.
A seal playing with its beach ball.
Yeah, yeah. And then you have the ship where...
So all the orcas are here just anytime now, dude. Anytime.
And now you can see here, if you look upon the penguins on the ice.
Oh wait, we're at the penguins.
At
Okay.
the ice.
I gotcha. Waddle, 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 waddle.
They start moving around in the ice. The penguin marsh. But what really is impressing is the water they have created.
Yeah. Oh, that's something else.
All the rest is just technique.
Their research lab chasing this.
Yeah, do you want the water on green piece on the roads?
What, on that one? Oh, on this one, go ahead.
See the way. Have you seen the penguins that are jumping out there?
Okay. Oh yeah, some penguins jump off. I was waiting for the dolphins to jump up over there or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the survival expeditions. Shackleton, his crew. Just like, well, Alan, I'm sorry to hear things are getting to you. I think we have seen every section, have we not? That we have paid to see. All right, well then, folks, I've been on for 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I hope you enjoyed this, but let me switch the camera around. There, we got almost all this in there. There you go, Joyce.
And,
Move closer to John.
should we say the famous words?
We'll try it. But yeah, so that is a quick tour. Trust me, I did this quickly. There's a million things I could have shown you, pointed out, but we really did rush through it. But I was hoping you guys would enjoy seeing this maybe better than in a regular video. Next best thing to be in here. And again, this is the first time I've seen the South America, Patagonia, and Antarctic displays, and they just never, you can see the videos on how they do it, and then you get here and it just blows your mind. So anyhow, this is the Model Train Outsiders, American Outsider. We're going to end the stream here. So we're going to say the magic words.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Happy trains. Take care, everybody. Thanks for being a part of this stream.
Bye-bye.